Are you being impatient, or are you just properly using your intuition? It's really hard to know here in trading because of the subjectivity of it. Being emotional and closing a trade early because you're being impatient versus closing a trade early based on your discretion and experience and intuition, these are just two things that are under the same umbrella, and it's really hard to argue either way. It is really hard to prove or disprove anyone's manual trading approach because of the subjectivity involved. Okay, this is like us going out to get ice cream, and you tell me that chocolate is the best flavor, and I tell you that vanilla is the best flavor. Neither one of us is really right or wrong in an objective sense, but we can be right or wrong given subjective values. If you value the flavor of chocolate and I value the flavor of vanilla, and we each say chocolate and vanilla individually is our favorite and it's the best flavor, well, for us personally, it might truly be the best. I'm in this trade right now. I think price is going to drop at some point. I'm going to sell. I've added to this position here, CHFJPY. I think price has gone too far in one direction. I think it's likely to revert. So this is the position that I sit in. It's in about negative $10,000 of drawdown right now with an $80,000 risk. So it is 1/8 of the way to the invalidation, the stop loss out of my risk. This would be like if you risked $100, it would be like you'd be in a drawdown right now of maybe like a little over $100, like $120, $130. So that's where that's at right now. People might say, why are you selling, Nick? It's clearly an uptrend. Why would you do this? Because the Japanese bank is going to mess around with the interest rate, so they're going to release there's a news event coming on Monday or something that, the sentiment for the data is going to be, bullish, and price is going to go further up. And if you look at the index for the Swiss franc, the central bank of Switzerland, if that's even a thing, said that they're going to do this, and that people are going to try to say all sorts of different stuff. But ultimately, nobody's right and nobody's wrong. I don't know what's going to happen. Here's the last two trades that I took. I took this GBP CAD trade over a week ago. I closed right here on that candle with the down spike, and I closed. And it was sideways for like a week. Then on Thursday, so this is 2 days ago, I ended up going into further profit. It would have been bigger profit. Now, I'm not complaining, right? And when I look at my decisions, it is truly a mystery as to whether or not anybody closes a trade due to impatience, or whether or not they close it due to intuition. I'll show you this trade right here. Here's the closed positions. So I made $18,000 on this one, right? Had I held it, I probably would be in profit close to $40,000 right now. This was another trade I was in, USD MXN, that I closed. I ended up closing early. So USD MXN was the same sort of thing, right? Price went really far in one direction. I thought it was likely to revert. So I entered a basket of sell positions throughout these prices, and then up here as well, I added to it. Then when it went down into a little bit of profit, I closed in a little bit of profit. Now it has gone further, and I would be in like at least double whatever the profit is that I closed at like a week ago. So you can try to make the argument, oh, you're just being impatient, Kyle. Listen, Freddie, you closed the trade early, buddy. And, me and Isaac, we stayed in the trade, but you closed it early and blah, blah, blah. And that was a stupid thing for you to do. I mean, if you just look at the price action, right, it's obvious, right? This was going down. You don't know this. But then whenever someone's wrong, they don't talk about that. People make up all sorts of reasons. Like the amount of mental gymnastics I see here on YouTube with people claiming to know what the hell they're doing in trading is just absolutely baffling to me. I think that if you're going to be giving any advice or suggestions or any of your pointers or even opinions in a general sense, if you're even giving your opinions on stuff about trading that sort of insinuate or suggest that somebody else should do something and take some sort of action based on your opinions, I think you're an idiot unless you prove that you can actually do it live and that you're actually profitable. Because otherwise it's very easy to mislead people. You have the blind leading the blind here on YouTube and social media in general. You have a lot of social media gurus who, over the years, I had a lot more faith in people, but I don't think I have a lot of faith in people now. I think that a lot of people online are full of trash, to be honest. I really had a lot more faith a couple years ago, like back in 2019, 2020. I was like, yeah, they're good, they're this and that. The more I see, the more I'm convinced that a lot of people are just full of crap. You'll only know someone's profitable as if they're trading live. Like for those of you who are in Nick's trades, like any one of you can scroll back months. It's like 4 months in here, maybe 4.5, 5 months in here. You can scroll back and you can literally just look at all the trading history for yourself, right? You'll see all the losses. This was not a losing trade, but this was like in drawdown. You'll see all the profits. You'll see literally all the ups and downs, and it's all documented live. That's the only way you'll really know if somebody can do whatever the hell it is they're claiming that they can do. You can, all the stats, like all of this stuff right here, like this could be a demo account, right? Like you don't, like, it's a live account, but like you could say, oh no, Nick has a white label brokerage that he made with B2 Broker, and he has the affiliate sponsorship program with some shady offshore white label broker where he can have access to like a MetaTrader 5 back office on the server, and he can go and edit trades and do all sorts of stuff. So you just don't, like, you don't know. My FX book, you can fake all the data in your MetaTrader terminal through the back end, and then you can, as long as you have a white label, then you can just go and hook it up to my FX book and it looks like you're profitable. Then you just hide certain stats. It's just trash. Like there's like the type of quality control, this type of scattershot approach to like people giving unfounded advice online. It's really, I don't know. I can't say it annoys me or frustrates me because personally, I just think everyone's an idiot, so I just don't worry about it. But I guess what kind of makes me a little bit like upset is the fact that it really does steer new traders wrong. Like when you see somebody on YouTube with a Lamborghini and they're telling you, yeah, guys, my strategy is amazing, and then we've got the Bollinger Bands, and then when it touches the 2.5 deviation Bollinger Band and the RSI is above 75, then I sell, and then I use a 30 pip stop loss and a 60 pip profit target, because you should always have good risk reward. You're told that quite a bit, especially if you're new to trading. Like, you should never have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, right? Like almost all my trades start as a 1-to-1, but you're told in general it's probably not a good idea to do that because you're not making more on your winners than you lose on your losers. But then that doesn't account for the fact that every single one of my trades that have ended in loss over the past few months, like 4 months, have only been partial losses. Right? I have it right now. I have an 85% chance of a trade not ending in loss, meaning 85% of the trades I've called, and you can verify this for yourself. It's the MFX Nick's Trades group. You can go and subscribe to this if you like. I'll tell you more about it at the end of the video. But you can go and check and see for yourself. Like I do in fact have like an 86% success rate of trades not ending in a loss. Most trades end in either a break even or a small profit or a big profit or a huge profit at the profit target. But all of this comes from intuition and experience. And it's like the more I see people literally just make up reasons, right? Like I took this trade and there was, I mean, not a lot of people, but there's always the comments in every single video of somebody being critical. And people are saying like, this is a low probability trade. This is a really risky trade. Well, guess what? 2 weeks ago, from the time I'm making this video, the same thing on USD MXN. And the same thing on GBP CAD. And the same thing on a lot of other trades I've called, 85% of which ended in a profit, in some degree of profit, right? There's some of them that end in break even or, like small, like tiny profit. Like it goes like 1/5 of the way to the top profit target. I call that a break even in most cases. And there's trades that go like that would have been like this was halfway to the profit target. But I can't remember. The original target was somewhere down here, right? But like, because this is not the actual trade. The actual trade, it's in the Nick's Trade server history. You could just scroll through it. But even though trades ended in profit, right? This is $18,000 of profit. The people that were telling me when I entered this, right? People giving advice saying like, y'all don't take this trade. Nick has no clue what he's doing. He's selling in an uptrend. It's an uptrend and Nick was selling. That makes 0 sense. I can't believe this guy is misleading so many people, blah, 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 blah. Then when everything works out, right, long term, you have to let this shit play out because this took like 2 weeks to finally get where it's at right now from the moment I entered back in here. Everyone is MIA, right? Everyone is silent. There is no sort of standard of behavior. Like whenever you are someone like me who publicly puts out all your stats, I've been trading in my free Telegram channel for the past 6 years now. Something like, about 6 years. Link in the description to join this free Telegram channel. I'll probably put it in the pinned comment as well. But I've documented, I've shared my analysis, my trades, my trading history, my P&L, like literally everything. I've documented here for 6 years that I've been trading. And I've done the thing that the only thing that matters, which is live trading, right? Like it hasn't always been exactly live trading. There's been periods of time where I didn't post for like a month or two because I was working with clients and I just shared trades with clients. But more or less, I post all my results and everything from the live trades I've called the clients in here just to document it, right? That there's like some history. But you could scroll back into here for years and you see I've been doing the same shit for a long time. I started this Telegram channel as more or less like a server for me to track my growth and progress. I didn't know I'd still be running it 6 years later up until today, but there's like 61,000 members in here. But I did this as a testament to the fact that like all that matters is if someone can trade live. Like if somebody is not trading live in front of you where you can see every little detail with a microscope of every little thing they're doing, and you know that they know that you know that every single thing they're doing is documented and it's all live. If someone is not doing that, it's just very difficult to make a determination as to whether or not they truly know what it is they're talking about. I've had bad losing streaks, guys. I've had losing streaks that are like 2.5 months long. That are all public, that you can all go and see. I've had winning streaks that have been like literally the year of 2022. All year was a winning streak. Every month of the year 2022, I ended the month in some amount of profit. Sometimes it was a huge profit, like 50K. Some months it was like maybe like 5K or 10K, right? So pretty much break even. But I didn't have a single net losing month in 2022. In 2023, I had like 4 down months, maybe like 4.5 down months if you count the last losing streak. It was still a profitable year, but it wasn't an amazing year. It wasn't as good as 2022. And then this year, just over the past like 3.5, 4 months in trading Forex specifically, just Forex alone. We're not counting crypto or stocks or anything because crypto's appreciated like crazy. Just so far this year, I've made like $200,000 in just FX, and that's over like the past 4 months. Oh, this was the video I made about it. You can find this on my channel, like 3 facts. I made $180,000 trading Forex in 6 weeks. This was all in the 6 weeks of that. Now it's probably closer to 200K with the profit I had on GBP CAD. That was like an $18,000 profit. So we'll say 200K, but plus I got a drawdown of 10K right now on the trades I told you about at the beginning of this video. We'll see where the CHF JPY trade goes. But more or less 190, 200. It becomes very difficult for you as a person trying to learn trading, listening to everyone's opinion. It's really like the best thing you can do, as simple and ridiculous as it sounds, the best thing that you can do is just go to the chart, do whatever the hell you want to do. Buy wherever you want, sell wherever you want. Let it hit stop or target or close it manually wherever you think, if you should close it in profit early or before the stop loss in loss, or if you close around break even. Just do whatever you want and just watch what happens over and over and over. It's good if you keep like a little server, like in Discord. You can start a server, right? Just add a new server where it would just be you in it. And every time you take a trade, go here to trading view, upper right hand corner, click the camera, click copy link, and then go and post that. I'm not going to do it here, but like go and click copy and paste so that you can see the link or whatever. And then you can see which trades you took and why you took them and what ended up happening. If you do that, that'll help you kind of see things. But even if you just keep the long short position tool on the chart and then you just make note of where it was you closed. Maybe if you closed right there, you put like a little line, like a horizontal like line or something. If you just do that and you just watch what happens over and over, you have to understand 90% of people are losing money. You can get ahead of 90% of people. And I'm saying this is an objective fact. Like most people lose money trading. You can get ahead of most people that are losing money trading, whatever the actual percentage is, right? 80, 90% of people, whatever it is. You cannot lose money trading by just entering effing randomly using a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Because with no experience, no context, no nothing, if you just enter randomly, if you just buy and sell anywhere on the chart with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, as long as your stops and targets are not like 5 to 10 pips, like as long as they're something like, 30, 40, 50 pips, the exact pip amount does not matter, but don't do like a 3 pip stop and target, because then spread fucks everything up. But if you have reasonable stops and targets, your trades are based on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and you enter randomly, you have a 50% win rate. Half the trades will move to this target, half the trades will move to the stop loss. That's pretty crazy to think that you can literally enter randomly with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and objectively you will be ahead of most traders, 80 to 90% of people, depending on what stats you look at. Most people lose money. You can not lose money by just entering randomly. And don't give me the crap about, with the fees and the swap fees and the commissions. Like, yeah, of course, you're going to have swap fees and stuff, and you're going to have commissions in trading. But it's not going to be that big of a deal if you're a profitable trader. You might end up slightly down because of the commissions and swap fees if you do this break-even thing. But all I'm saying is, outside of swaps and commissions, the point is that you can enter randomly on the chart with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and you are break-even. And then after you start doing that, you start to kind of notice which trades look like they're going to work out and which trades look like they're not going to work out. So you wait for trades that you think are better opportunities, and then you enter where you think the time is optimal, and then you watch the price action as it develops, and then you close early if you think it's not going to work out. You stay in a trade if you think it's more likely to work out. Perhaps you even add to your trade if you think that it's really likely to work out. So then you just increase the risk. Maybe you started with $1,000 risk, but you're like, this is a really good trade. I'm comfortable risking $1,500 on this, so I'm going to add an additional position, and I'm going to risk more on this trade that I think is more likely to work out. And if you have the stats and the experience, you get this over the course of like 6 to 12 months minimum. When you start having that little bit of an intuition, you're able to make decisions that long term are going to be above a 50% win rate. Like me, I'm at an 85% win rate if you call winning, not losing. So it's like not 85% of my trades do not hit target, but 85% of my trades do end in some form of profit or break even or something like that. Like 85% of trades I take do not end in loss. So if you look over the past few months at my stats, if you subscribe to the Nick's Trades group, it's all there. There's none of this trash with people like, y'all know the signals groups where they, like people will enter a trade, right? And they'll say, they won't show you the screenshot of this. They won't show you their actual trading terminal, right? Like they won't show you any actual terminals. They'll just type, buy Euro USD, stop loss here, and they'll have like fucking like 5 profit targets, TP1, TP2, TP3. Then if price goes into profit, and then people don't know, well, do I move the stop to break even? Do I close partial profits at every TP? Do I just hold for the second TP or the third TP? The first take profit will be at like a 0.5 risk to reward ratio sometimes. Like, there's all this trash. Then if price goes really far in one direction, but then it reverts and it goes and hits the stop loss, you will see people who run these stupid signals groups saying, yeah, we got TP3 smashed today. And since they're not showing their actual trading terminal like I do, since they're not putting their money where their mouth is, probably because they can't trade, that you have no way of knowing what they did, or if they even did anything at all. You have no way. They're not even showing you their account, so you don't even know if they're trading live. It's such trash. Like, it is just truly complete trash. It's one of those things where, like, when you scroll through the Nick's Trades group, this is the way that I call trades. Let's just go. Let's look at one of the trades I called. Okay, so here. I have taken a trade on my forex.com. The details are, I am short 80 JPY. Here's the lot size. There's the risk. There's the stop loss. There's the target. And it's just that simple, right? So this was a trade I call. This is like, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. There's the entry. There's the stop, right? You'll have all of you people that think that, oh, you're selling in an uptrend. Okay. And you want to go roast me in the comments. Feel free to do so. Whatever. I have clients who made $50,000 to $100,000 on this. I wasn't able to take this trade on my regular account, but nonetheless, this was the account. So this one ended up, it went into a big profit. This one, it was like a $25,000 profit had it worked out. I closed it here at a $13,000 profit. I had wanted to add to it as it went against me, but I was not able to add to it. So it is what it is. But I show everything, right? Like, so I'm closing 80 JPY here. There's no weird sort of sketchy, like, you don't know exactly what I did. And like, oh wait, which take profit did he close at? Did you close partial profits at TP1? And then You do this. There's no trash like that. It is one entry, one stop, and one target. There will be multiple entries oftentimes because I add the trades depending on the situation. Sometimes I add in profit. Sometimes I add in drawdown. Just depends on the context. But I show everything. Like this was that trade. There was the trade before that right here on 80 JPY. It's you truly have no clue whether or not someone can trade unless they trade live and they just show you everything. So yeah, you can scroll through here in the Nick's Trades group if you're subscribed and you can check. I also post a lot of the stats here in the free Telegram channel. Here was that. GBP CAD, NZD CHF trades. The takeaway here is that a lot of the things that you'll be doing in trading, it gets really, really difficult. You really start having to play a lot of mental gymnastics and go down a long rabbit hole if you are trying to articulate why you're doing something, if it's based on experience and if that experience serves you well. A lot of people who will criticize you and what you're doing in trading, remember, 90% of people lose money. Maybe the stats a little more, a little less, but let's just assume for the sake of the conversation that most people lose money. It's 90% of people lose money. 90% of the comments you see, if not more, are people who have literally no clue what they're talking about, right? Like, this is why I generally just don't engage with it at all, because like there's no sort of quality control. There's no sort of standard. This whole approach to like people saying like, this is a low probability trade, this is a bad trade, Nick, what are you doing, right? And then whenever they go into huge profit, people are MIA. Whenever they look in the Nick's Trades group for the past 4 months and see I've made almost $200,000, MIA. Nobody has anything to say. It's like they just vanish online, and there's no penalty. You're not held to any type of standard of accountability or responsibility if you go on the internet and you start just like roasting people and saying this is sketchy. You know that Nick took that trade, right? But then he closed it the next day. Yeah, well, he didn't say that in the video. That needs to be explained, right? People can make it look like there's all these anomalies and all these things that need explaining. And if you're not connecting all of these dots, then you're just not doing the work. Nick's actually a very elaborate hoax. Everything he's doing, even him saying that all the trades are called live. Did you know that I heard from someone that Nick actually deletes the trades in here? So if he takes a trade and it loses, Nick will just go into the Discord history and he'll just click delete and he'll just delete the trade, right? Even if there's no evidence, right? That's obviously not something I do. Otherwise I'd be getting ripped apart by clients. None of my clients are complaining. Let's put it that way. People can say all sorts of trash. I don't want it to impact you in a negative way, because you may be doing something that's working, it's fully functional, but then you see somebody make a YouTube video about it saying this is a stupid strategy, it would never work, and blah blah blah. So then you stop doing it, and then you start losing money, and then you're like frustrated and resentful, like, why did I do that? Like, my thing was working fine. But then you get all confused, like, what's the best way to do it? Is a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio best? Like, there's so much context and nuance that comes around it. It's very, very extremely difficult, if not impossible, to articulate whether or not anything is better than anything. Like, everything works. There are people that are trend traders that works fine. There are people that, like me, that find better results if you do mean reversion trading. Like, I like waiting for price to get overextended in one direction, because I know if I wait for that, it's already really likely to tumble in the other direction. Then on top of that, if I use a really far invalidation, it's unlikely to go to that invalidation because it's so far away and price has already been overextended without a pullback. That's why I'm in this right now. Like, I made a video about this a week ago. It's gone sideways the whole week. I had comments of people saying like, oh yeah, how's that CHF JPY trade going, Nick? Yeah, it's in over 100 pips of drawdown, as if that's something crazy. The stop loss is like 600 pips away. Right now it's in 100 pips of drawdown, a little bit more than 100 pips of drawdown, right? That's like 100 pips out of a 600 pip drawdown. This would be like if you're risking $600 on a trade, and the trade is currently in minus $100, and then somebody's criticizing you saying, oh yeah, you're a great trader, bro. Yeah, your trade's in $100 drawdown. Wow, that's crazy. Out of a $600 stop loss. People are just, hopefully those of you who are intelligent here feel me, right? Hopefully you see, you're like, trading is truly subjective. Nothing is right or wrong. Everything goes. Like, you could do literally whatever the hell you want, provided it's contextualized and it works based on your experience and intuition. To really be able to make any objective statements about trading, you would have to talk about the things that actually have nothing to do with the speculative price. You would have to say, like, what currency pair are you trading? Okay, well, it's objectively true. I'm trading CHF-JPY. That's the currency pair. Without any mental gymnastics, that's an objective reality. How much money are you risking for this trade, right? So I'm risking $80,000 on this trade. That is an objective fact about reality, that if it goes up here in one fell swoop and it just goes straight up and I do nothing to manage it early, right? And then all the trades get hit up here, the stop loss, I will lose about $80,000, right? Minus slippage and spreads and things like that. That's an objective fact about reality. You can say, yeah, Nick he's risking about $80,000 in this. But anything else, such as like price is in an uptrend right now, or Nick price is ranging, or Nick prices, it's broken all-time highs. So I think somebody said some shit about like the weekly chart has broken the all-time highs, and so this is very likely to go up. And this is a low probability trade. I can't believe, Nick, you're making videos like this, leading people the wrong way. You're leading people astray, and you're selling in an uptrend. Oh, what a stupid thing to do, blah, blah, blah. It's just like anybody who knows what they're doing, right? Anybody who's profitable and can prove it through live trading, it's really hard to argue with anyone. So it makes things look as though, even if somebody says something spurious or frivolous, right? It doesn't seem that way in the context of like social media. You have all these keyboard warriors, right? Everyone just saying like, this is this and that's that, and this is ridiculous and this would never work and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes people will outright make shit up. Like there was a video 2 weeks ago, I made a video. There was somebody who said, this trade hit stop loss, period. That's what they put in the comments, right? And this trade went nowhere near the stop loss. Like nowhere near, like, and then it was one of the ones I actually responded to. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I linked the exact Telegram message that showed that this trade ended in profit, or at least showed that it started to go into profit because it was before it closed at that time. The person responded saying all these mental gymnastics, saying this is a stupid way to trade, and yeah, that was wrong, but this isn't, and this is such a dumb trade, and like there's no way you're able to do that, and this is too risky, and you're just gambling. Stop leading your audience astray. It ended up working out. MIA. The person is missing in action. The person is completely like, I don't know. Maybe I hope you guys get the point now. The point I really want to drive home here in this video is whether or not you're being impatient when you're closing trades early, or whether or not you're being emotional, whether it's actually context-based and it's a good intuition-based, experience-based decision, you're just using your discretion. None of it really matters. The simple thing is just do whatever the hell you want. Track your stats for a while. After you do it long enough, your intuition starts guiding you in a way where words cannot. There's nothing objective. There's no strategy that's going to save you. There's nobody here that's going to teach you a strategy that you will be able to duplicate 100% of the time and make money. It is all subjective. Like if somebody got on a YouTube video to debate me and said like, you can follow an objective strategy, right? It would take less than 5 minutes for me to start asking a bunch of really tough questions that the person would not be able to have an answer to, that would illustrate and demonstrate, look how subjective it is. You said sell right here. If this happens, that happened, but why didn't you take the trade? And they're like, no, it's because it didn't set up. That's not what the strategy is. And I'm like, well, based on the strategy that you told me, based on your own rules, like that those conditions are in place. So technically you're supposed to take a trade here, but you're not doing that. All it illustrates is that there's some type of discretion outside of a framework of trading criteria and quote unquote black and white absolute rules that must be enacted if you are a manual trader. And it just goes to show that everything works. Like you can't really prove or disprove anything if it's manual. If it's an automated trading approach, which I've seen almost no automated trading approaches ever work. Like the only thing that seems to work through automation is a type of DCA grid recovery approach, as long as the position sizes are small enough to account for potential drawdowns. But outside, and that's not even a predictive, like there's no edge to that. It's just the risk management is what allows it to work. And yeah, and it's cool but crazy, but literally I have seen no speculative approach work at all in automated trading approaches. If you go do that. You go put to take out a loan, put $1 million into it, and then let your automated trading approach make you millions of dollars. Everything that I see from manual approaches that are profitable, it's generally from a trader that has taken a very long time to work out all the kinks and all the nuances and everything in their trading approach to start being able to develop that intuition of when they know and I use the word know with like air quotes, right? When someone quote unquote knows what they think the best decision is. Like if you think, okay, I'm in this trade right now, for example, it's going against me. If it goes up here to 180, I'm going to be adding that drawdown right there will be about $35,000. I'll be adding that will add an additional $20,000 of risk to the trade because of the position size I'll be using there. So then this risk will go up from 80,000 to 100,000. I'm completely comfortable with that because I know literally if it gets all the way up there at any moment, it could have a reversion. And if it just does something like that, I'll get out of this trade in like 30, 40K profit. Maybe it doesn't hit the full 100K target, but if that happens, that'll still be the case. I'm still likely to win. It could turn around, like it could hit this high on Sunday at the market open and then immediately turn around and go all the way down here. And perhaps I'll close just before the profit target and make maybe 60K instead of 80K on this, right? But herein lies the subjectivity of trading. There's no escaping that. So do whatever the hell you want to do and track what you're doing. Over time, you'll start to know what works and what doesn't work. And then over time, just continue to do more of what works and less of what doesn't. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you're not in my free Telegram channel, it's the link in the description. You can join. I just post my analysis, my trades and stuff in here. If you want to see everything I do in real time with like 20-minute long audio messages, recapping everything that I do, this is the Nick's Trades group. Just go to missionfxtrading.com. I think it's in the description as well. You can subscribe to this group. It's where I just call out all my trades in real time with full updates and management. I don't do that in the Telegram just because I've got to make money somehow, like with all the stuff I do on YouTube and here in the Telegram. I don't monetize. I don't have ads on my YouTube channel. I don't monetize anything. I don't sell any products. I don't have any brokerage affiliations or anything like that. This is the only way I make money from doing what I'm doing. So like, if you want to subscribe here to Nick's Trades group, everything's transparent. Everything's here. It's probably a lot better than a lot of the shitty signal groups you've seen in your life. But it's just where I call out my personal trades that I take. That's it. It's all very simple. Every time I do something or call something out, it's very clear. It's very straightforward. I do regular updates showing like where the trades are at, what I'm doing, and blah, blah, blah. So like this is how I call it trades. I am short on NZDJPY. I have risked $18,000 on this trade. All the details are shown in the images above, and then an audio message explaining what I'm doing, showing the trading view analysis, showing this right here, the screenshot. This is my actual trading terminal, and showing my terminal here with all these trades. I just show it all. So yeah, consider joining this if you want a group that's finally transparent, where people don't try to fudge the numbers and make it look like it's amazing. I've shared everything in there, all my win streaks, all my losing streaks, everything. So if you enjoyed this video, I'll see you in the next one. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Cheers.